All right, thanks for staying with us. Yes Bank has suddenly popped up. Numbers are due later this week, and ahead of numbers, I guess money is clearly moving out of ICICI Bank, and the only play in the wholesale banking space or the corporate banking space now from a private banking space seems to be Yes Bank, which frankly has surprised and has disappointed less. And for the moment, there are no allegations or cross charges on the top management or the way they've conducted themselves. Yes, there was an RBI differentiated accounting, which they admitted 2 quarters ago, and they gave an explanation. I think markets were very satisfied with them. But for the moment, Yes Bank is trending up very, very smartly ahead of numbers. What else is trending up very smartly post numbers? That's Delta Corp. They've come out with good set of numbers for the quarter gone by. What's the way forward? Gaming revenue, hospitality business, and more importantly, the Goa gaming policy. If it is changed, how will that change life for a company like Delta Corp? So to discuss all that and much more, I have with me Hardik Dhebar, the Group CFO. Hardik, welcome to our new studio. Thank you for joining us. Let's just first crystallize and walk us through the numbers. How much of these numbers are looking charged up largely because of that effect of demonetization which was there in the same quarter last time, and that effect kept the base low, and now you've come back to a real base?
So, morning Nikun, first of all. I think demonetization obviously had the base effect, but I think the way to look at it is that if you compare the quarter before demonetization, so demonetization was 8th of November 2016, and the quarter before that we did a revenue of 125 crores. Now if you look at the same quarter in this year, we ended up doing 145 crores. And we have continued the growth trajectory thereon, thereby ending at 162, 163 crores in the fourth quarter. And so I think while there is a little bit of base effect, but I think the business per se has been very, very robust. It has been growing very well. And I don't see a reason why the growth trajectory and the momentum would not continue going forward. And the base effect always plays, but I think it's not the numbers that are speaking out of the genuine organic growth, and it's not only the base effect that's coming here.
Is margin improvement also, Hardik, on the cards? And would you say that the online business would also aid that?
So, if you analyze the numbers, even without the online business coming into play, we have grown reasonably well. The EBITDAs have grown at about 40% on a gross basis, and if you take out the other income portion of it, we have grown at about 30-32% on the EBITDA itself. Now, this is without the online space coming into. Yes, online is a good platform that we ventured into at the right time. That's a market which continues to grow. So we were, for the 9 months that has got consolidated into Delta this financial year, we've done about 80 crores of revenue. And if you extrapolate the whole 12 months, it is about 125 crores of revenue as against what they had, Delta.
How much did online specifically contribute?
So 125 crores for the 12-month period, and 80 crores for the 9 months of consolidation is what it's contributed. As against what it was last year, 75, 80 crores. So, online is growing at 35-40%. What is also happening is that the space is now getting a lot of traction from a lot of large players coming in. So, you would have heard PokerStars just entered into India on about a week ago, and we are very happy about that situation, because and we have seen this happen in Goa, and I was just discussing with some of your other colleagues that every time an industry has seen newer players and larger players coming in, the industry has only expanded, the user base is only, and we are the market leaders, and we are bound to get the benefit and advantage being having an early mover and a strong advantage to it. So I think while the year has been good, I don't think there is any reason for us to believe that there is going to be a difficulty to grow on these numbers. And I think we are very, very positive that the growth trajectory will continue.
Okay, typically how much higher can margins go from here? You've done, a stellar performance this time around, from 31% to 37.5%. How much more headroom is there in the wake of the fact that there are reports talking about how the Goa government might be looking at hiking various license fees by up to 4.5x?
So hiking of the license fees is a subject that has been in the news for the last couple of weeks, but to bring the facts to the table, I think there is a representation already made by the association and the casino operators to the government of Goa, and we are quite hopeful that the government will see the rationale and the logic, and we believe that something positive will come out of it. Having said that, in terms of margin improvement, we have said that There are activities that we conduct on a quarter, during the year in a particular quarter, which basically subdues that particular quarter's margin, but it's a long-term effect that we look at. So whether we do a gaming festival, which was there in the third quarter, or we are doing a new tournament in this next week, this coming weekend, all these are basically promotional activities which we do with a view to try and capture more audience, newer people getting attracted to it. So I think if you're looking at 37% on a consolidated basis, I think there is at least a 10 to 15% scope of margin improvement on the organic base itself. And if there are certain other triggers that will happen, like Nikunj mentioned about the land-based policy, which I think there is enough in the domain already, which is clear that the government has the intent to roll out the policy. It's a question of time. Those such triggers are going to only strengthen and improve the margin beyond a lot of people's expectations.
Minus Goa, what is happening to your casino business? Because you've expanded outside Goa. Right. How much are those other geographies adding up?
So in addition to Goa, today there is Sikkim, which is operational, and Sikkim obviously was a planned out strategic move, if I may say. So knowing pretty well that we are only going to get the benefit and advantage out of Sikkim once the infrastructure and the connectivity to Sikkim improves. Fortunately for us, the airport has been ready now. The first flights have landed, and the regular flight, I think, should start anytime soon. Once the regular flight schedules into Sikkim commence, we believe that Sikkim as a destination will have a larger visitation and a larger presence on the tourism map. With that, it's an established fact that more number of people, when they visit your place, not only the state but also your casinos, you tend to make more money. So we believe that we are at a launchpad situation as far as Sikkim is concerned, and with the connectivity and infrastructure improving, we are bound to see. So Sikkim's not eating away into the profitability; it is contributing in a very small way. But I think that could be that could also see a multifold jump, given the fact that there will be improvement.
And what is the update from the Daman property?
Daman as a hotel has done reasonably well. It's now already breaking even and making money, which is a good sign. As regards the casino license is concerned, I think I have said it on multiple occasions that from our side we have done everything that is required legally to be done, and we are now waiting for the final decision.
So, by 2020, how many casinos? I'm assuming that you'll get a Daman license by 2020. How many casinos you would have in India?
So if I take your assumption, we'll have 4 in Goa, 1 in Sikkim, 5, 1 in Nepal, in Kathmandu, 6, and Daman should be the 7th.
And what would that make your profits look like?
Well, it's anybody's guess, because only the Goa transition itself can change the landscape of Delta in a very, very different way, very, very positive way, and it could see Delta going into a different league in terms of market cap, in terms of share price, in terms of profitability, and in terms of revenue. So I think trying to consolidate Daman and Goa and see everything, I think we are looking at a number which I don't even know whether I can say at this stage.
Okay, we're just wondering those numbers in our head. So strategically then, Hardik, what is it that we're looking at? You have about 5 to 6 properties going for you as of now. There is the online business. But next 2 to 3 years, where is the big delta going to come in for you?
So I think on a steady state basis, we continue our organic growth, as I said, at the 20-25% year-on-year basis. I think the real big trigger event, if one would look at, is the land-based casino policy of Goa.
Do you see any scope of that happening anytime soon?
It's already been kind of announced on multiple platforms and multiple forums by the government themselves. It's a question of only merely formalizing it and now making a formal announcement out of it. So it would have happened during the budget session of the Goa Assembly. Unfortunately, the Chief Minister took ill and he's unwell, as we all know. And we are praying and hoping that he recovers and comes back soon, and we'll have the policy out.
So if the policy comes in FY19, what happens to your profitability?
So even if the policy comes in FY19, Nikunj, I think there is a time gap. We have to move to land wherein we'll need construction time and stuff like that. We have already acquired a 100-acre parcel closer to the Mopa airport, which is coming up in Goa, and we're looking at adding another 50 acres to it. And the idea is to create an entertainment zone. So I would not want to compare it to a Macau, but I think a mini Genting is what we are looking at, which will have the best of the entertainment, the best of the restaurants, and the best of everything to do. So anytime anybody post that era comes into Goa, there is no reason why they will stay anywhere else. And as far as Delta is concerned, Delta's focus is going to be purely casino gaming. So everything else, Delta continues to own through a land model where the land will be contributed as equity and we'll have a skin in the game everywhere. But as far as we are concerned, our capital commitments will only be towards the casino business. So we are looking at a multiple, and the experts have said that when such a transition happens from offshore to onshore, people have seen 10x and 15x growths. And a very, very classic example is a listed company in Cambodia called Nagacorp, which had a similar transition from offshore to onshore. About 3 months ago, they just launched their second phase on the onshore, and their revenues are at $500 million, if that is anything to go by. And Cambodia is a country of 2 million people.
What is the risk to your business? What's to your mind?
Well, to be able to keep up with the pace of growth.
That's it.
That's a good risk. Okay, closing comments. Delta Corp started as a casino company. Now you are into hospitality, which is an extension of the gaming business, but you're also into online, and you're also moving into cricket fantasy games.
That's right.
So are you going to be a specialist gaming company and casino is going to be just part of your gaming module, or you will remain a casino expert and you're only looking at expanding that in different geographies?
I would rather call myself a gaming company and not classify myself as a casino company or an online company. We are a gaming company, and we would like to present the entire basket and entire set of things that everything can be perceived under the branding of gaming. But yes, casinos, the offshore casinos obviously will remain the mainstay. They will have the lion's share of the revenue and the profitability coming in the years, given the fact that I just said when we move from onshore to offshore to onshore. And like you said, and I hope that you in some form and fashion it comes true, that not only 2020 but much before 2020 we have the Daman license. So then the offline piece is always going to be a much larger piece, but online will continue to give us the growth and the visibility and the stability.
Okay, appreciate your time. Glad you could join us, and good luck for FY19. The stock is at 296.